Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're taking a deep dive into generative AI for enterprises.
Yeah, it's a hot topic.
It is, for sure. And you, our listeners, have been requesting this deep dive, so I think it's safe to say there's a ton of interest out there.
Absolutely.
So whether you're prepping for a meeting about adopting AI or just super curious about what all the buzz is about, well, you've come to the right place.
We're going to break it all down.
We are. And to help us navigate this exciting world, we're turning to a fantastic guys from Writer.
They're a company right in the thick of it.
Exactly. They live and breathe AI, and they've put together this awesome guide specifically for CIOs.
It breaks down this whole new landscape.
And right off the bat, they hit us with a pretty mind-blowing stat.
Oh, yeah.
96% of companies believe that generative AI
Whoa.
is going to be huge for business.
96%, that's almost everyone.
I know, right? It really highlights how this isn't just hype.
It's a real shift.
Absolutely. And CIOs are on the front lines figuring out how to use this tech to transform how their businesses operate. So it's not just about the tech itself.
No, it's about the impact.
How it changes things.
Exactly. Okay, so before we go any further, let's make sure we're all on the same page.
Yeah, good idea.
When we talk about generative AI solutions for businesses, what exactly are we talking about? It feels like a pretty broad term.
You're right, it can be. There's a whole spectrum of solutions out there.
Oh, interesting.
One way to think about it is in terms of how much control a company wants.
Control over their AI.
Yeah, exactly. On one end, you've got what are called custom stacks.
Custom stack.
These are AI systems that are built from the ground up.
Oh, wow. In-house.
Exactly. Total control, but requires a ton of expertise.
Oh, we bet.
It's like building your own spaceship.
That's a good analogy.
Cool. But are you ready for that commitment?
Yeah, so not exactly a weekend project then.
Definitely not.
So what about those companies who aren't ready to, build their own spaceship? What are their options?
Well, that's where AI assistance and point solutions come in.
Okay, so these are more like buying a ready-made rocket.
Yeah, think of something like ChatGPT.
Got it.
Great for boosting individual productivity.
Makes sense.
But the impact on the whole business might be limited.
Okay, so custom stacks are for the ambitious DIYers. Point solutions are for specific tasks.
Right.
What about companies that want something more holistic?
That brings us to the third type, full-stack platforms.
Full stack platforms. So this is like having a whole space program at your disposal.
Exactly. These platforms are designed to integrate across the entire organization.
Wow, so much bigger.
Much bigger. They have the potential to truly transform how a business operates.
Now, we hear a lot about chatbots and AI creating content, but the writer guide mentions something called RAG.
Retrieval Augmented Generation.
It sounds very technical.
It is a bit technical.
Okay, break it down for us.
Yeah, so basically, RAG gives your AI access to all of your company's knowledge.
All of it.
Internal documents, customer data, everything.
So it's not just spitting out generic answers.
No, it can actually understand your business.
That's amazing. So how does that actually play out in a business setting? What are some concrete examples?
Well, imagine a customer service bot
Okay.
that can actually pull up your order history
Wow.
and give you tailored support.
That would be so helpful.
Right. Or a sales tool that analyzes your past interactions.
To suggest what?
The perfect next steps.
That's incredibly valuable.
It is.
So where are we seeing companies adopting AI like this right now? What are the hot spots?
The research highlights three key areas: IT, customer support, and security.
So for our listener, this isn't just some far-off concept.
Go.
It's something that they might be dealing with today.
Or very soon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as companies start to see the possibilities with AI,
A big question emerges.
which is
Do you build your own AI solution
Oh,
or buy an existing one?
the classic build versus buy dilemma.
It really is.
So let's break down the pros and cons,
Oh, yeah.
starting with the buy side. What are the advantages of going with an existing AI solution?
Speed, simplicity, and expertise are the big ones.
So you're essentially getting a pre-built rocket,
Ready to launch. It's faster to implement, plus you get support from a vendor.
a vendor who specializes in AI.
That's crucial.
So finding the right vendor is key.
Oh yeah, you don't want someone who knows nothing about your industry building your AI solution.
Exactly. Okay, so flipping the coin.
Okay.
What about building your own AI solution in-house? What are the advantages there?
Well, Building your own AI gives you ultimate control.
I can see that being appealing.
It is, especially for companies with very unique needs.
So they get to be the architects of their own spaceship.
Precisely. No compromises.
But I imagine that comes with challenges, too.
It does.
What are some of the things companies need to consider before jumping into building their own AI solution?
The biggest one is the commitment.
Time, resources.
All of that. It's a huge undertaking.
Not just assembling a pre-made kit.
Nope, you need a whole team of engineers, data scientists, and be ready for ongoing maintenance.
It's like having your own mission control center.
It really is.
And the writer guide, they point out that even if you have the resources, there's still a risk.
Oh yeah, things might not go as planned.
What kind of risks are we talking about?
Well, they found that 61% of companies that tried building their own AI solutions ran into accuracy issues.
61%.
That's a significant number.
It is.
And it really highlights the complexities involved.
So even if you've got the best engineers, your DIY AI might not hit the mark.
That's right.
Okay, so let's say a company decides that buying an existing AI solution is the way to go.
Okay.
How do they even begin to navigate that landscape?
Well, even within the buy category, there are different types of solutions. Do you go for a full stack platform or a point solution?
Oh, I see.
It depends on a company's goals, their size, their budget.
So let's unpack those options.
Okay.
What are the key characteristics of a full-stack AI platform?
Think of it as a complete integrated system.
So the whole spaceship ecosystem.
Exactly. Launchpad, mission control, the works.
And what about point solutions? How are they different?
Point solutions are more focused, like individual tools.
So you're buying a rocket for a specific mission?
Yeah, they target a specific use case or department.
Makes sense.
They're often cheaper, easier to implement.
So why wouldn't a company just go with a point solution?
Well, the risk is they can create a fragmented AI landscape.
Meaning?
You might end up with different AI tools operating in silos,
Oh, I see.
which can lead to inconsistencies, integration challenges.
So while point solutions might offer a quick fix,
Right.
they might not be the best for companies aiming for broader AI adoption.
It's about considering the big picture.
Now, the writer guide features a case study about a legal tech company called Disco.
I've heard of them,
They're using AI to make e-discovery less of a headache,
which is a huge pain point in the legal field.
a massive one. So can you tell us a bit about their journey and how they approached AI adoption?
Sure. So Disco, they started with a clear goal:
What was it?
streamline e-discovery.
Which, as we said, is notoriously time-consuming and labor-intensive.
They knew AI could make a huge difference.
But I bet it wasn't all smooth sailing.
No, they faced challenges.
Like-
Just understanding how AI works.
How is it different from traditional tech?
It is different. They had to wrap their heads around things like natural language processing
Oh, that's a big one.
and then figure out how to integrate these new AI tools with their existing systems.
I bet that was tricky.
And they also had to think about security.
Of course, with legal data.
It's incredibly sensitive.
It was a learning process,
It was, for sure.
both in terms of the tech itself and how to adapt it to their specific needs.
Right.
Now, Disco ultimately chose a full-stack AI platform.
They did.
What were the key factors that led to that decision?
Security was a top priority. They needed top-notch security features to protect all that confidential legal information.
Right.
And they liked that it could be customized for their specific workflows.
So it wasn't just about finding a quick fix.
No, they were thinking long-term.
They chose an AI solution that could really transform their operations.
Exactly.
And the writer guide highlights a key takeaway from Disco's experience that I think is worth repeating.
Oh, what's that?
It comes from their chief architect, Jim Snyder.
Okay.
And he had some great advice for CIOs looking at AI.
What did he say?
Don't just look for small improvements with AI.
Go bigger.
Go for those transformative changes.
That can impact the whole business.
It's about thinking beyond those incremental gains.
And seeing how AI can completely reshape how you operate.
Now, before we move on, I want to circle back to the different types of AI solutions.
Okay.
We've talked about full-stack platforms, point solutions,
Right.
but how do companies actually choose between them?
Well, there are a few key questions to ask. First, what's the scope of your AI ambitions? Are you looking for a small, targeted solution?
Or a complete transformation?
Exactly. Next, what are your resources?
Do you have the expertise to manage a complex platform?
Or do you need something simpler?
And then, I imagine, you have to consider the specific features of each solution.
Oh, absolutely.
Certain things might make one a better fit for a certain industry.
Right. For example, if you're in a highly regulated industry like healthcare or finance, security and compliance features are paramount.
So a full stack platform might be the better choice.
Possibly. On the other hand, if you're a small business looking to automate something specific, like marketing emails.
A point solution could be quicker and more affordable.
Exactly.
So it sounds like there's no one-size-fits-all answer.
There really isn't.
It depends on the individual company and their needs.
It does.
But understanding the differences between these solutions is a crucial first step. This is a great place to pause for now. When we come back, we'll delve deeper into the real-world applications of AI and what the future holds for businesses in the age of generative AI. Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking about how companies are choosing between building their own AI solutions or buying existing ones.
And how to navigate those different types of AI platforms.
Exactly. Now, throughout the writer guide, there's this underlying sense of urgency.
Like, don't wait around.
Yeah, they're basically saying, don't wait for AI to happen to you, get ahead of the curve.
It's like that saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago.
The second best time is today.
Exactly. And with AI, that couldn't be more true.
Why is that so important right now?
Because the AI wave is already here. It's only going to get bigger.
You snooze, you lose.
That's one way to put it. The longer you wait, the further behind you risk falling.
It's like the internet in the 90s.
Oh, yeah. Those who embraced it early on.
They were able to ride that wave of innovation.
Exactly. And the same thing's happening with AI now.
And the writer guide also makes a point about how employees are already using AI tools.
Whether companies like it or not.
It's true. It feels like you can't put the genie back in the bottle.
You really can't. And trying to ban AI tools is likely to backfire.
So what's the alternative?
Embrace it. Focus on how to empower employees to use AI safely and effectively.
So instead of blocking access, it's about guidance, setting up the right framework.
Exactly.
What does that look like in practice?
Well, that's where a secure, full-stack AI platform can really shine.
How so?
It provides that framework for responsible AI adoption, ensuring data security,
Makes sense.
compliance with regulations, and consistency.
So it's about establishing those guardrails, not roadblocks.
Exactly. Giving employees access to powerful tools, but making sure they're used responsibly.
Empowering, not restricting.
I like that.
And when employees feel empowered to use AI effectively.
That's when you see real transformation.
Now, before we get too deep into the future, I want to bring us back to the present.
Back to reality.
Earlier, we talked about RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation.
Right, giving AI access to a company's specific knowledge base.
Can you give us some more concrete examples of how that's being used in those key areas we discussed? IT, customer support, and security.
Okay, let's start with IT.
Perfect.
Imagine an AI system that can access all of your company's IT documentation, past tickets, even code repositories.
Wow, all of that.
Now, when an employee has an IT issue, they can interact with this AI,
Describe their problem.
and the AI can provide solutions,
Troubleshooting steps.
even suggest code fixes,
That sounds like a dream for any IT department.
especially with technology getting more complex every day.
What about customer support?
So in customer support, Regly can completely revolutionize how companies interact with their customers.
In what way?
Imagine a customer service bot that has access to your purchase history, past interactions, even your preferences.
So it really knows you.
It does. You can provide personalized recommendations, address potential issues before they even happen.
And answer questions with a deep understanding of your needs.
Exactly.
Not just generic FAQs anymore.
It's the next level of customer support.
Okay, what about security?
Security is another area where RAG can have a huge impact.
How so?
Imagine an AI that's constantly monitoring your network traffic.
Looking for what?
Unusual patterns, potential threats. By combining this real-time data with a knowledge base of past attacks, it can identify and respond to threats much faster.
It's about being proactive, not reactive.
Precisely. RAG gives AI that context,
It needs to understand not just what's happening, but why.
which is crucial for security.
We've talked a lot about how companies can adopt AI,
The different approaches.
but let's zoom out for a minute.
Big picture.
What does the future hold for businesses that are already using AI?
We're thinking about it.
What trends should we be paying attention to?
One of the most exciting trends is the increasing accessibility of AI tools.
Meaning?
There are now platforms and resources that make it easier than ever for companies of all sizes to experiment with AI.
So it's not just for the big players anymore.
Exactly. This democratization of AI is going to lead to a wave of innovation
I love that.
across every industry.
What other trends are on the horizon?
Well, another key trend is the growing emphasis on responsible AI.
That makes sense. As AI gets more powerful,
We need to make sure it's used ethically.
responsibly,
Exactly. We're going to see more regulations, guidelines around AI.
companies will need to be ready.
Oh yeah, they'll have to address these considerations.
With great power comes great responsibility, Ro.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
We need to ensure AI benefits everyone.
Not just a select few.
What about the technology itself?
What advancements are we likely to see?
In generative AI, in the coming years.
One of the most exciting areas is multimodal AI.
Multimodal.
So right now, most AI focuses on text or images.
Okay.
But in the future, we'll see AI that can seamlessly generate and understand information across multiple modalities.
Multiple multitasks.
Text, images, video, audio, even sensory data.
So it's not just about AI that can write or create images.
It's about AI that can understand and interact with the world in a much richer way.
And that opens up some crazy possibilities.
It does. Think virtual reality, robotics, personalized
thinking, yeah.
healthcare.
It's a lot to wrap your head around.
It is. But it's also incredibly exciting,
We're at the very beginning of the AI revolution.
and the potential is limitless.
Now, before we move on to the final part of our deep dive, I want to touch on something we discussed earlier,
Okay.
the Disco case study.
The legal tech company.
They chose a full-stack AI platform for their e-discovery needs.
Right, but we didn't really get into the specifics of how that platform actually works.
Can you shed some light on that for us?
Sure. So the platform Disco chose, it uses natural language processing,
To do what?
analyze legal documents, identify key information.
It can even predict the outcome of litigation based on past cases.
Exactly. So it's not just about speeding things up.
It's about using AI to make more informed decisions.
And this is just one example of how a full-stack AI platform can be tailored to meet the specific needs of an industry.
And this brings us to a really important point.
What's that?
The importance of choosing the right AI solution for your unique business needs.
We've covered a lot of ground today.
Different types of AI, the trends shaping the future.
It's a lot to take in.
But the key takeaway is that there's no one-size-fits-all approach.
I completely agree.
Every company needs to carefully evaluate its goals, its resources, and the challenges it's facing.
Before diving into the world of AI,
And that's why this deep dive has been so valuable.
I hope so,
It's given our listener the knowledge they need to ask the right questions.
and make informed decisions about AI.
Knowledge is power, especially in a field as rapidly evolving as AI.
Absolutely. Now, in the final part of our deep dive, we'll shift gears a bit and talk about the practical steps companies can take to start their AI journey, from identifying opportunities to building a successful implementation strategy.
Welcome back to our deep dive into generative AI for enterprises. We've covered a lot of ground, from understanding the different types of AI solutions to exploring the trends shaping the future of business. Now, let's get practical. For our listener who's ready to take action, where do they even begin?
A great starting point is to think about where AI can have the biggest impact.
Okay, so where should they be looking?
Well, look for tasks that are repetitive, time-consuming.
Things that are ripe for automation.
Exactly. Or tasks that require a lot of data analysis.
AI excels at that.
It does. Those are prime candidates for AI.
So it's about looking for those pain points,
Right.
those areas where you're thinking, oof, there has to be a better way to do this.
Exactly. And don't limit yourself to just those operational tasks.
What else could we be thinking about?
Well, think about how AI can enhance creativity,
Oh, interesting.
improve decision-making, or even create entirely new products or services.
So AI isn't just about automating the boring stuff.
It's not. It's about pushing boundaries.
Now, once you've identified those opportunities, what are the next steps?
You need a plan.
It can feel daunting.
It can. That's why it's important to have a clear strategy.
So where do you start?
Start by defining your goals.
What do you want to achieve with AI?
Yeah, what are your success metrics? How will you measure the impact?
So before you even look at AI solutions, you need a vision.
You need to know where you're going.
Then what?
Once you have that vision, you can start evaluating different AI solutions and vendors.
There are a lot out there.
There are. This is where research is crucial.
Don't just jump into the first shiny thing you see.
No, look for solutions that align with your industry.
Your specific needs, and of course, your budget.
It's about finding the right fit.
And I think this goes back to what we talked about earlier, finding a vendor who's a true partner,
It's not just a technology provider.
someone who understands your business and your goals.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's say you've chosen an AI solution.
You're ready to go.
What are the key considerations for implementation?
One of the most important things is data.
Data.
Yeah, you need to have the right data infrastructure in place.
Because,
AI algorithms are only as good as the data they're trained on.
so garbage in, garbage out.
Pretty much. You need clean, accurate data.
It's like making sure you have the right fuel for your AI rocket.
That's a good way to think about it.
What else is crucial for implementation?
You need the right people.
Expertise.
Yeah. You need a team who understands AI and can manage the implementation process.
That might involve training existing employees,
Or bringing in new talent
people who can not only implement the technology, but also interpret the results.
and make informed decisions based on those insights.
Now, throughout our deep dive, we've been talking about the Disco case study.
The legal tech company.
They had some great lessons learned
What were some of the key takeaways?
that our listeners can apply to their own AI journey.
Well, one of the biggest lessons from Disco is to really understand your existing processes.
Before bringing in AI,
Yeah, don't just try to shoehorn AI into a broken process.
it's an opportunity to rethink things.
To optimize your workflows.
So it's not just about automating what you're already doing.
It's about doing things better.
And another takeaway from Disco,
Be prepared to learn.
meaning.
Implementing AI, it's not a plug-and-play solution.
Oh no, there's going to be a learning curve.
There will be. It requires experimentation, iteration.
A willingness to adapt.
Exactly.
So it's a journey, not a destination.
And having the right support can make all the difference.
Whether it's a vendor, a consultant, or online communities.
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Learn from others who've been there before.
It's a collaborative effort.
As we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listener with a final thought.
Okay, I'm listening.
We've talked about the potential of AI, the challenges, the practical steps,
It's a lot to take in.
but the most important thing is to approach AI with a sense of curiosity.
Curiosity.
Yeah, a willingness to learn and a belief in its power to transform.
It's an exciting time to be involved in AI.
It is. It's not just a technology.
What is it then?
It's a catalyst for innovation.
A tool that can empower us to solve problems, create new possibilities, and ultimately shape a better future.
And that's an exciting future to be a part of.
It really is.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you found it insightful and empowering.